Hello and welcome to Noble's virtual conference. My name is Pat McCann. I'm an analyst here at Noble Capital Markets. Today I have the pleasure of introducing the Perfect Corp. We have Louis Chen with us today. And before we get started, let me just let you know that you can submit your questions down at the bottom of your screen in the Q&A box, and we will get to as many of those at the end of the presentation as we can. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Louis.
Thank you, Pat. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining this session. I'm Louis Chen, the Chief Strategy Officer at Perfect Corp. Perfect Corp is an beauty AI company. We serve in the vertical for beauty and fashion, helping beauty brands and beauty lovers, consumers in discovering, virtual trying products, and finding personalized recommendation. Our company is listed in NYSE under the symbol of PERF. So today, I would like to share with you a little bit more about the company, our business model, and to also show you some of the typical use cases, how our clients are using our solutions. So let's get started. The company was founded in 2015. This is our 9th year. We have been public since late 2022. The company very much is a SaaS company focusing on the vertical for beauty and fashion, aiming at transforming the world with our AI innovations. The company has grew to over 300 professionals around the world. The development headquarters is situated in Taipei, Taiwan, where I sit. And we have a US as our biggest market. We have about 30 professionals here in the US between the West Coast and the East Coast. And the US market represents about 50% of our revenue. The second biggest market is Europe. It's around 20%, 20+% of our revenue from the United States, and then followed by Japan, Tokyo, which represent another 10%. The remaining 20% are rest of the world. If you look at this map, we are geographically located very close to all the beauty capital of the world, because this is where a majority of our clients sits. So they are beauty or fashion companies. So to start, we really want to solve and help consumers and brands about their pain points. And there are several very typical demands and desires of what a modern consumer needs in terms of beauty, especially teenagers or young, try to understand which is the best beauty style for them, or just even broader audience about understanding the health of my skin, what is my skin type, what are the skincare products that I need, or even applying makeup tutorials. I think it's very challenging, especially for women, to learn about what's the technique, what's the right product, what's the process to put on the best makeup. So we are using technology to help resolve all these issues for the consumers. The company has evolved quite a lot in the last 9 years. So now we have more than 20 different products in our offering. So sometimes becoming a little bit more difficult to memorize each of them. So recently, we have put it again in simplify our strategy around these 4 pillars. Skin AI is our solution about skin diagnosis, how we're using selfie cameras and AI models to help diagnose, provide up to 14 different concerns, skin detections. Our beauty AI is our virtual try-on, anything from makeup to foundation finder to makeup tutorials. In the recent 24 months, we have expanded into fashion and jewelry markets, covering watches, rings, and bracelets, and more. And I will show you a few examples in a moment. From the business model perspective, we operate in 2 ways. Last year, our company did about $54 million in top line revenue, and 50% of that came from the B2B, while the another 50% from the B2C. B2B is a very typical enterprise SaaS model, where we are licensing API or SDK as a subscription products for beauty or retailers in the beauty and fashion categories. The solution covers anything from online as part of the shopping cart experience or offline in the boutique retail store. On the B2C product line is more of the freemium model, where we have more than 5 mobile apps that consumer can download directly from App Store or Google Play. They get a 7-day free trial for all the enhanced premium features. And at the end of the trial period, they have a choice to continue the premium feature, paying a subscription of around $39 per year or $5 per month. Or they can continue to use it for free with a limited light version of the apps. So these 2 represent the biggest revenue sources for us. And what it is unique in this business model, and I think you probably seldom find a company that can monetize the same technology in both ways, and actually creating synergy both ways. They are all beauty lovers, whether it's B2B2C or B2C. So it's the same engine, same development team, one P&L cost to develop, but we're able to monetize it to two different audiences. To give you more color on the B2B side, the logos you see here on the wall are the typical companies, brands that are using our solutions for many years already. So we have accumulated over 10 billion AR trials per year now. And what is most impressive, our solution, our platform now serves more than 665 brands, mostly multinational brands, through their e-commerce and helping them on conversions, increasing basket size, and also reducing product returns. Another thing worth noticing in here is the platform we created. As you may be aware, these beauty brands, they have new collections of product every season, whether it's this winter collection, the spring collections. So every time they bring a new product into the market, they use our toolkit, they use our platform to digitize this and offer that in the AR format. So over the years, we have now accumulated over 745,000 virtual products that people can try. This makes us the biggest AR platform for beauty in the world. The chart here you see give you a little bit more perspective about the growth pattern that we have seen over the years in our platforms. So as of last reported quarter, we have 666 brands on our platform. And as you can see here, on every quarter, we get about 10 to 20 increase in new brands that are adopting the solution. So I think it's a very healthy growth patterns, and I think there's still a very long way to go, as there are more than 2,000 brands in the world for beauty and fashions. On the right-hand side, you also see the historical pattern about the number of SKUs that we carry on our platforms. This has to do with the way that we license the monetization and how we charge our customers. So also the metrics are excellent. A glimpse about our B2C offering is the franchise under the name YouCam. So there's various apps for different use cases surrounding photo, video, and camera use case for makeover, for selfie editors, or video apps. So one of the things that we are very proud of is we're able to monetize these beauty apps. And here in the trend, you see the metrics that we report every quarter is the number of active subscribers. As of last reported quarter, we have over 900,000 paying active subscribers. Vast majority, 90% of them are on an annual plan, which I said is about $39 per year. And it continues to grow quite nicely. The recent pattern, we have seen about 30% growth year over year in terms of number of subscribers. So then going back a little bit to share with you the evolution of our beauty industry and how we are helping them. Traditionally, beauty industry rely very heavily on physical sampling because this is one of the most effective way for converting consumer to try to buy a new lipstick color, a new eyeshadow palettes. However, physical trial are very time consuming. Of course, sanitary concerns, so nobody's really touching those samples on the shelf anymore. And many times there's no availability for those testers. So those are all obstacles preventing consumer to buying beauty products. So when we started in 2015, we had this vision to use AI and AR technology to bring virtual try-on, so consumer can actually see themselves already wearing makeup virtually on an iPad or on their smartphone. It's really unlocked a lot of potential for try before you buy. There's never going to be lack of samples or lack of color that you can try. And this is a new experience already, very much table stake for all the beauty companies doing e-commerce. Just a little bit glimpse of that. AI is certainly the buzzword in this season, but we have been infused AI in beauty tech since day one. When we started in 2015, we were the first one to use machine learning technology into beauty. That was the year, if you remember, where AlphaGo and deep learning, machine learning has started. So we challenged ourselves, can we use this technology to help improve the commerce, improve the beauty experience? And we did. So with that, let me share with you some of the recent client success so you have a better idea how this works. Here on the screen, you see the Walmart app. This is a typical experience when consumer comes to the Walmart app and try to buy a beauty product. For example, here you see on the video, you're scrolling through several products. You tap onto, let's say, a lipstick, and there's a try-on option on the screen. When the user taps on try-on, instantaneously the camera turns on, the selfie camera, and consumer can see their faces already there, and they can swipe left and right, have a before and after. So she's now trying, and she can see herself, the look and feel of that lipstick on her face. This is a much better and much more personalized experience compared to just looking at a celebrity photo or a video ads. So that's really the secret why consumer and brand really love that, because you offer user a much more engaging and personalized experience. Another thing worth noticing is because of our coverage of over 600 brands and ever continues to grow. When we work with the retailers such as Walmart, we also help them bring more brands and more product without the need to redo the digitization of the SKUs, because everything is already been approved and sitting on our console. We can publish that into different channels just overnight. In the Walmart example, at the launch, we enable more than 20 brands, over 1,400 products out of the door. And every quarter, we increment by 12 more brands, depending on what the retailer carry on. Another example here to help you illustrate technology. This is, for example, MAC Cosmetic under Estee Lauder. So it is an artistic brand. They have a lot of looks. So here, for example, in the video in the middle, you can see that with just one tap, the user can try on not the lipstick, but the eyeshadow, the palette, the eyebrow, the foundation, the contour, the highlights, everything very easily. And not only that, we have the start tutorial. So it actually allows the technology to help consumer break this step into step-by-step process, so they can learn about putting on the makeup, which is the right product. You can add to basket right directly there. There's audio narration behind, which kind of tool and the techniques. So this is really helping a lot of the young users, young consumers to learn about beauty. And these two are just an example on how we're doing that for the beauty industry. The next example here is how we're doing that with Amazon using our Agile Hand technology. So here, if you go to Amazon app and you see for a virtual manicure, you're thinking about buying the nail polish product, and the nail clip products. Here you go, right? Technology is automatically real time to detect your fingers, your nails, and it traces the movement very precisely, and it allows you to see if that matches your style, actually matches your outfit, it does match your skin tone. So it's super cool. And here, a few more examples how we are doing that across makeup and across the more categories such as watch. So typically in the advertising format, this is a video ad, nothing new in there, but now there's an option for try on. So when the consumer tap on the try on the video, it doesn't leave the site. You turn on the camera, and for example, here you have the lady trying on the Gucci lipstick. She's swiping left and right between the different colors. And if she likes this shade, she can always tap on the shop now, and then in this example, she goes to Sephora to make her purchase. In the middle one, for example, this is our partnership with Cartier for our watch technology, so consumer can actually see the fit, the sizing of the watch on your fingers. And this is for Sally Hansen, very similarly, to try on different colors, and it looks super real, right? So you feel almost as real as you were wearing the real product. So these are 4 key examples. And there are many, many hundred of them. Suggest you to come to our website, and whether on the success story session or the other demo session, you can try it for yourself. Other thing I would like to also mention in here is our partnership with all these tech giants, whether it's Google, it's Meta, it's Snap, it's Alibaba. These are all our partners. They are using our technology in Google Search, in Instagram, in Snapchat, for brands to offer virtual try-on for makeup products. Alibaba and Snap is also on our cap table. They are our investors since when we were private. Alibaba was our lead investor in the Series B and remained to be in our cap table after the IPO. And Snap as well, it was the lead investor in the Series C and also remained in the cap table since then. So I think this is a very unique position. Nobody else in this industry that we are have this type of partnership, because this is very important for the brand to ensure that there's a consistent and cohesive experience across the perfect 360 approach. So whether consumers are shopping online or they're on YouTube or on your social media or in the store, they'll all always get the same experience when they try the same SKU, because the rendering engine are coming from the same technology, is the same engine, so that we can guarantee the results are consistent. Other thing that is new that we have been working recently is generative AI, and I don't have the time to show you all of that today, but I want to show you a few glimpses how we are able to take AI and then offer consumer new experience. For example, how many times women may have seen looks from celebrity on TV on Instagram or on a magazine. And if you want to try and you want to understand if that looks fit your style, we just need one image. You can take a photo of that image. The AI will analyze the color, the shades, the texture, the patterns that she's wearing, and then transfer that into on your own face. Very, very simple. And with that, you can find the right products. For example, another example, how we're using generative AI diffusion to create hairstyles. So you just need one image from the user, and we're able to recreate her with different looks and different cut. For example, pixie or even afro, long wavy here. Looks super natural. Hair extension is another example of that. Clothing is the next big thing. So we are working on really surrounding the female shoppers, right? What do they buy? Anything beside makeup, certainly apparel is a big category. So using generative AI, so the similar way that we're doing for makeup, you just need one image. We need one image, and you can the AI will recreate yourself wearing that piece. So these are just a few examples of what we are able to do on our app now. Or this is one of my personal favorite, is the AI headshots. Most of the time, I don't have much more time to go to the studio anymore to take my photo, whether I'm using that as my speaker bio, or my LinkedIn. I can do that just with the regular selfie, and the AI will create myself wearing different suits, different color, with jacket, without jackets, different environment, in the office, in the studio. So it's super helpful, and this is one of the key features in the app as well. Or for women, if you want something a little bit more artistic, we have this, what we call the AI Studio. We only need a few images of the consumer. This is my colleague, that the AI will learn about your facial identity and be able to recreate yourself, for example, in these marvelous image, like going on safari. I don't think that will be ever possible taking photo with Wealth or Cheetah, but the AI allow you to create that already with the makeup on, with the hairstyle. So it's really just a great way of social expression and social sharing. Lastly, a few pages on the financial highlights. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we did about $54 million top line last year. In the quarter one this year, we did about 14 million, about 18% growth year over year. Internal margin, last year, the gross margin was about 81%. And this last reported quarter was about 78%, 11 million in margin. As for the bottom line, last year, we had adjusted net income of about $7 million. So that was 13% in margin compared to previous year, 5.4 million. And in this recent quarter, there was about 10.6% in margin, 1.5 million in adjusted net income. One thing worth noticing is the capability to generate cash flow. So last year, we have a positive operating cash flow of about 13 million. And in this last reported quarter was about 3.5 million US dollars. The company also has a very strong balance sheet. As of last reported quarter, we have about $157 million in cash and cash equivalents. So something that we wait to be deployed to help accelerate the growth, whether organically or through other strategic acquisitions. So with that, I will conclude my prepared presentation, and I'll open the floor for questions.
Thank you, Louis. Yeah, we do have some questions here. The first one has to do with the competitive advantages, the competitive landscape. Could you describe the company's competitive advantage, especially as it relates to the B2B brand customers such as Walmart, Estée Lauder, and Clinique?
Yeah, so when we started in 2015, I think there were maybe 6 or 7 different companies and try to do similar things we call the beauty tech, right? After all these years, I think most of them has been, eliminated in many ways. So we have become the clear leader in this space right now. So we cover more than 600 brands. I think our closest competitor probably have less than 10 customers, and if not less. So they are much smaller in scale, probably, really a startup, 10, 20 people team, maybe less than $1 million kind of revenue. So there's no really scale that can compare to what we do. Especially after makeup, we expanded into skincare, which I didn't have much time to address today. But as we grow into new category, we are the only one in this market who have both makeup, skincare, fashion, all together in one platform. And most importantly, have the access to more than 600 beauty brands across the world in different geographies. So from the B2B, I would say we are so unique that you probably, if you have done the research in the market, I think all the beauty brands, they are very much using our solution. On the B2C, it's very different. B2C is a much cloudy market. There's a lot of beauty apps. There are a lot of selfie camera apps, but the market overall is still growing at a very rapid rate, right? So we might not be the biggest one in the B2C. We are maybe probably number 5 to number 10 in that market. But as my numbers show, it was still growing very fast because the overall market, the number of consumers willing to pay for subscription has increased so much in the recent years. So I think it's going to be still a lot of runway to go. And we are gaining more market share. We are launching new mobile apps to gain that market share.
Great. And then I wanted to double back to the Amazon partnership. It seems like I think what you mentioned and what you illustrated in the presentation had to do with nails and nail beauty. And I'm wondering, are there opportunities to expand a partnership with the likes of Amazon? Seems like that's a large opportunity. I was just wondering if you could flesh that out a little bit.
So our strategy has been always expanding adjacent category one after another, right? So beauty into nail into hair coloring, for example, hairstyle. And one of the forte is we are able to take these and make it into a plugin where Amazon or Walmart or other retailers, they can take this technology and embed into their experience very seamlessly. So the opportunity there for the brands who are selling either direct to consumer on their website or they are selling through reseller distributor, our technology help them to offer the same experience where the consumer coming to their own .com or they are going to their retail partners. And once the consumer is there, there's a way to expand this technology to more categories, right? So beauty is certainly a very big categories, but as a female shopper centric company, I think there's a lot of opportunity to expand that.
Great. And then the other question had to do with your numbers. So given the full year 2023 numbers, the company appears to be in strong financial position. How does the management team view the profitability of the business and its plan to utilize that strong cash position of $157 million that you mentioned? How do you plan to utilize that in the near term?
Right. So the business model generate cash flow, as I said, right? So even before the IPO, we were already really sitting on a good amount of cash, and certainly we raised amount of cash from the Series B and C, mostly for strategic investors. And the IPO raised another over 100 million there. So we're sitting on a quite sizable number of capital waiting to deploy. And again, we still a strong believer in this business. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to conquer. There are more categories that we are not servicing today. So I think this capital is to use on research, on hiring talents to create more AI models, more tracking models, not only the face or the hand, but the body parts, shoulders, neck, for example, for necklace, for shoes, for the feet. So that's one organic investment, of course. The other part is strategic M&A opportunities. They are, potential market that we want to go after, that if we can accelerate the growth and be able to consolidate and create synergy from taking on this with the technology or different group of clients and new markets, is something always on our radar. The management team spend certainly a good amount of time looking at all those opportunities. So there's no urgency per se to go ahead and do the acquisition for the sake of doing that, but we always are certainly looking at opportunity in the market. And I think it's a good thing to have sitting on this capital because then we can move very fast.
Great. I think we have a couple more minutes. We can go over a couple more things. I was wondering about the fashion vertical. You illustrated that at the end with trying on different outfits and whatnot. Could you and maybe it would be repeating yourself, but can you talk about how far along that is and how close that is to being a vertical that you really are expanding on?
I think many companies over the last decade, if no longer, has tried to solve that problem. And in my view, the reason that it is not taking off is because the traditional approach that other company is taking is just fundamentally doesn't going to work. Because if the brand and retailer have to get the apparel into a mannequin and send to a scanning facility for 3D photo geometry scan, it's taking too much time and cost, and it's unscalable, right? So when the consumer are coming to online retailer, let's say Shein or other, there are 3 million pieces of clothes. It's not just 3 or 30. So how can you create a technology that are scalable, that are affordable for the retailer, so consumer can actually try any pieces that she wants online. That is really where the potential is going to be fully unlocked. So our approach is very different. Our approach is using generative AI. So instead of taking the photo and creating a 3D model of that's not going to really to work, how about if we can use the AI to learn about what is actually she's wearing, the fabrics, the colors, the pieces, and recreate herself in a whole new way using diffusion technology, for example. The technology today, it is able to do that for photo. So you can see yourself, picture yourself wearing that in a static photo. It still takes maybe 7 or 8 seconds. So it still takes a bit of processing time, but CPU, GPU is coming more power. So this is going to be quickly resolved very soon. And we are certainly working on generative video technology. So imagine yourself not only wearing that piece, but maybe it's me wearing that tuxedo or that Armani and walking down, in the city of Paris, right? If you can see that as a 10-second video clip while you are doing the online shopping, I think it can really change the way and for us to picture ourselves and understand the style, the feeling issues.
Great. And then I wanted to squeeze in another one about the various verticals, be it makeup on your face or nails, or in this case, fashion or accessories. You illustrated the watch example earlier. Could you give investors a sense of which of those verticals is the most exciting as far as from a growth perspective? Which one long term should investors be most excited about?
So we started in beauty, right? And we were very much focused in beauty and we dominated it, right? So it's still growing. It's a business that we know really well. I think it's still a huge market to go and explore that. The brands are typically not very tech savvy, right? So it takes time for them to understand how technology works, how to integrate that and to offer that. So one pillar after another, we were expanding to skincare and then more recently into watches. I think watches and jewelry, certainly the luxury business is certainly also very big. We have great brand clients on that field. It takes a little bit more time because, again, watches and jewelry, just because they are more high end, so it takes more time for them to do the quality checking on that. So I would say that it's really about the time of inception of this, right? Beauty, we are already serving that for 8-9 years, so it is more mature. It is scaling, very stable. The other market is much more newer, right? So they are just starting to experience technology as the beauty company did 7-8 years ago. I think it might still take them a couple of years to be fully mature and fully scalable. But overall, if you're in the mid long term, I think apparel, of course, that is a much larger market than beauty. But beauty is a good place to be. It is maybe a niche market to some, but to us, it is still a huge potential.
Great, thank you, Louis, and thank you for presenting today. We really enjoyed having you. It was very interesting, and I also want to thank all of the participants for being here today.
Thank you, Pat.
Yep, thank you.